listening to The Real with Rachel D on Atlanta's inspirational talk radio, Love 860. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to The Real with Rachel D. I'm glad you guys decided to join me again this week as we talk about some crazy hot topics, some celebrity news. I'm going to give you some great things to get into this weekend, and of course, the craziest things that we found on social media. I'm being joined here, like always, with my super fabulous co-host, Mrs. BJ.
What's up?
I keep saying Mrs. Is it Miss? It's still Miss, right?
It's Miss.
Miss BJ. Well, welcome to the weekend.
Yes, I'm excited.
I am. How'd your week go?
It was nice. We actually had sun this week.
We did.
I am not hating that. I'm enjoying it. I want it to continue.
I do too. So let's just go ahead and get into some celebrity news. Since BJ brought up the weather and how kind of good it was a little bit this weekend.
Yes.
You know some people who are really enjoying the weather?
Who?
Sierra and Russell Wilson.
Oh, yes. They got to take a trip. They went on a little vacation to Mexico.
They did, and I definitely wanted to talk about them briefly because I'm kind of happy that their relationship is still working and it's still it seems like they're very happy and in love because, you know, they got a lot of hate.
They have. They had a lot of shade.
So Russell Wilson and Sierra had spent this past weekend in Mexico for the Mexican holiday, and you know where they stayed, right?
Yeah, they stayed at the house that all the Girls Gone Wild series were filmed.
Yes.
It was like, they call it like a sex hut because it is like made for things to go down. They have like mirrors on the ceiling and I guess round corners. I don't know, but they stayed there.
And it's owned by Girls Gone Wild owner and founder Joe Francis, which also makes me think, because remember, this couple's supposed to be a celibate couple.
Exactly.
So out of all the houses you could have stayed, out of all the hotels you could have stayed, you stayed in the sex hut by Joe Francis?
Yeah, and then they even said that Joe left his staff there to help them out the whole time they had the trip, like his entire staff.
I wonder if anybody's going to tell.
They're not. They probably have to sign those agreements. They make people sign non-disclosure agreements. Child.
I guess, but you know, I don't know. Good deal with Sierra, and the Seahawks are still doing horrible, so I don't know. They want to blame Sierra for that. But she's keeping her no sex rule, according to, I guess, reports. So good luck to her and Russell Wilson.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, speaking of Atlanta news, Real Housewives of Atlanta had recently returned this weekend.
Yes, they brought Nene back.
Well, they are bringing her back.
Bringing Nene back. Mm-hmm.
But they did bring back a past Real Housewives of Atlanta, Sheree Whitfield. And I ended up catching up the show a little bit later, but I saw that there was so much drama between Kenya and Sheree. Kenya's just such a messy person.
Yes.
And they had like a huge falling out where it was like to be continued at Cynthia's Glasses launch party. So speaking of Cynthia, I don't know if you guys remember a couple months ago, she was in the news because her and Portia got into it, right? Yes.
Cynthia donkey kicked Portia in the stomach. It's just straight. And I'm just saying, which is a kick to the stomach. I mean, she donkey kicked her.
Well, it had to be pretty bad because Portia Williams actually went to the hospital for that.
Yeah, Cynthia Bailey is tall. Can you imagine how big her feet are? That was a kick. They probably need her on the Seahawks, but I'm just saying. It was pretty legit.
So, you know, Cynthia Williams, no, it's not Cynthia Williams, but Cynthia Bailey actually went on Steve Harvey's show.
Yes.
And, you know, Steve Harvey's very upfront and honest about, you know, what's going on. So he asked her about it. And what she says, and I quote, "I don't condone violence in any way. It's not who I am. However, you know, I do feel like if I'm in a threatening situation, I have the right to defend myself. And I just removed her from my personal space, but with my foot instead of my hand." And then she continues to say, you know, it's a really long story and you guys have to watch the show. I was just really upset that I allowed myself to be in a situation where I couldn't figure out how to get out without something like this happening. And I really made sure that I could do it and make it right. So. But, you know, like I think we talked about earlier, Portia was really provoking her.
Yeah, Bailey said that Williams kept calling her a B and getting in her personal space. So, I mean, you can only call someone out their name so many times. And I guess she was busy watching her hands. She didn't see that big old foot coming. I mean, just straight Jackie Chander. So, I mean, and she did get a little hurt or whatever. So,
I don't condone violence either. However, if you do watch the show, like, Cynthia's not really the violent type.
She is not.
You really had to have said something, get on her skin for her to do that to you. So,
girl must have been doing some serious leg squats, lunges, jumps, running. But she got her out of her face.
Well, speaking of beef, now this one came out of left field.
Yeah.
It did, and it's a really good one. So after The Real Housewives of Atlanta, the show that comes on directly after on Bravo TV is Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen.
Yes.
And the two guests were Vivica A. Fox and Candy Burrs from The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes.
And so Andy had asked Vivica about, because, Vivica is going to be playing on Empire. She's going to be starring on Empire as Cookie's sister.
Yes.
So Andy had asked her because, 50 Cent had tried to sue the Empire executives one point in time, saying it was based off his life or something like that.
Right, his TV show.
So they had asked Vivica A. Fox, so what do you think about, 50 and his comments?
Right. And she just replied just straight up, first of all, that's the pot calling the kettle black is all I'm saying. Then she went on to point out to the magazine cover featuring 50 Cent and Soulja Boy, suggesting that it made her question his sexuality.
Yeah.
So, if you saw it live, Candy Burrs was kind of sitting there looking very, do you remember that look when Kanye West got on there talking about George Bush hates black people? That's how Candy Burrs looked like, the dude who was standing with Kanye, like super awkward and not knowing what, like.
She was like, fix it, Jesus.
Yes.
Like, it was like a pin dropped and social media exploded.
Yes.
Not just from fans, because everybody, of course, were waiting to hear back from 50 Cent and Soulja Boy.
Right. Well, he replied.
Which one?
50 Cent, he did. First of all, she did come out and apologize, saying she wasn't meaning to throw shade on Soulja Boy, so she did apologize to him. But 50 came out and said, "Oh no, now she thinks I'm gay because I let her, how can I partake of fresh groceries, make a salad, LMAO. Wait, I didn't want her to. She forced me. My hands were tied. 50 Shades of Grey." So I'm just, but if people like to partake of groceries, she didn't say that. Perhaps he did. He basically put himself out like that, but that still don't mean anything.
Thank you. It's like your hands have better been bound, because that's a two-person thing right there that you just admitted to.
And he didn't even say like, stop. No means no.
But I actually went on his Instagram to check it out. Mm-hmm. Like, if he don't delete it within the next couple of days, guys, go check it out. He is just petty Betty.
Yeah. He's
posted pictures of her bad boob job. He's posted memes. Like, somebody had edited a picture of a guy getting somebody eating groceries, and it had 50 Cent on the guy's face and then Vivica on the girl's face.
These days, and then they called her like a cougar, and I think it's just been bad beef ever since they broke up. They are constantly calling each other out, and I don't know what made her go there with him. So because I'm gonna be honest, she need all the roles she can get. Yes. I'm just saying. So.
Because they broke up in 2003. It really could just be a publicity thing.
It could be. I
didn't know that Vivica was going to be on Empire until this happened.
And you don't throw shade to anyone. That came out of left field for her to say that. So, and you know how 50 Cent is. He's always going off on somebody, even with dealing with his alcohol brand that he promotes. So she already knew that he was going to come for her. Absolutely. So, she just gave him the bullets and he fired him. So.
And groceries. Okay. All right. So moving on, let's talk about, since that was the ending of a relationship, clearly a bad, bitter one.
Right.
Let's talk about a new relationship that's hit the airwaves. Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, who are coaches on The Voice, have been confirmed that they're dating.
Right. And the thing that's interesting is Gwen Stefani has this really cool pop rock and girl band, just a band aspect, whereas Blake Shelton is straight up country. But people are saying they really do connect, even though they seem to be from two different worlds. They have great chemistry.
Well, they're coworkers.
That's true.
And you spend a good amount of time with your coworkers.
Yeah.
So.
Hence that term, work husband, work wife.
Yeah.
So, it just means, how do you feel? Would you date a coworker?
I personally would not date a coworker because if it does not work out, I do not want to see you again.
That's true. And there are some options underlying about dating in the workplace. Number one, if you're a boss and you're trying to date someone under you, that could be a hostile situation. And if you work for someone you're attracted to, it doesn't guarantee you're going to get a raise.
Yes.
So I'm just saying, but at the same time, the bonus of dating at work, a little workplace nookie, little keep away here going, hey, how you doing, sweetheart? Or, I mean, it makes it exciting until there's drama. Next thing you know, you come back and somebody put white out all over your desk and in your purse. Now you got to go stomp somebody by the copy machine. Not true life. I'm just saying.
Personal stories, BJ.
Well, I'm just saying you gotta look out.
But no, a lot of people were a little bit upset because they were like, okay, they just, because they both were recently divorced or are getting divorced.
I think it's in the process.
So it's like, did this romance happen while you were still married?
Well, like you say, when you spend a lot of time in the workplace, you do get to build a rapport. You get to really know someone. And sometimes people of the opposite sex are more comfortable talking to someone when they feel at the beginning that there's never going to be a relationship. So you can be more open with them about who you are. Mm-hmm. So you can talk and build. The next thing you know, you both go to microwave to warm up, a meal. And you look at him and he look at you and you sharing a Whopper.
Another personal story.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Well, good luck to Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton.
Yeah.
So let's move on to an ex-couple, sort of. It's kind of an awkward situation.
Right.
So Kris Jenner just celebrated her 60th birthday recently. I don't know why I kind of felt she was older.
I did.
She's had so many kids and grandkids and everything like that.
She's been around for a while.
So she got a special birthday surprise shout out from her ex.
She had a birthday bash over the weekend, and what they did, they decided to do like a video, parodying a video she had done years before when she turned 30. So they were all showing, clips of her kids, her friends, and some celebrities. Then all of a sudden, we get a clip of Bubble Jenner in the bathtub, Caitlyn Jenner in the bathtub in bubbles, singing a song. And I'm like, did you see her leg, that old scrawny chicken leg she lifted up off them bubbles? It's like, when you get that wing, you're like, what is this? I hope they didn't charge me for a full wing because that leg is underdeveloped. But I guess she thought she was looking sexy. But I'm just saying.
I would have been so upset if I was Kris Jenner for many reasons.
Yes.
Because why that video?
And why everyone else has their clothes on.
Exactly.
You laying in the tub in them bubbles. With makeup on.
Exactly. And it's like, also, even though she's accepted you for who you are, I don't know about you, but for my birthday, I don't want no video of my ex. You my ex.
I don't want no video of my naked ex in a bubble bath.
Exactly.
She could have left that leg covered with them bubbles.
That leg is really bothering you.
Because she took if you see and she kind of knocked the bubbles off like she doing something. Child, please.
I actually refrained from watching the video, so thank you. Because now I really will not watch this video.
Don't. But happy birthday, Kris.
Happy birthday,
Enjoy
Kris.
yourself.
And also, Caitlyn Jenner, she was awarded an award. I'm not exactly sure what it is. There's different reports of it online. Glamour Magazine's Woman of the Year.
Why is she getting all these awards? I got friends 10 years ago who came out transgendered, did everything. They didn't get no awards. She need to move out the way and let somebody else step in. Nothing against her or anything, but every time I turn around, she's getting an awards. Share the wealth.
Exactly.
So, yes.
Ooh, Holy Ghost. All right. Well, moving on to
relationships.
Still, this has all been breakup, makeup couples. So there's another ending of a relationship from Atlanta rapper Rick Ross.
Rick Ross. That's why I said Rick Ross.
So is this really a surprise to anybody?
No. Okay. Didn't we discuss this like a few months ago when he hooked up with what's her name, Lyra Galore? That it was really quick. And her background, and we really wasn't certain. Like, it was very quick. It was a really quick relationship. But what happened recently, they have called off their engagement less than 2 months after they announced it. So we are told they had a major blowout. It's unclear what it was about, but I'm going to get to that in just a second. Okay. Then she moved out of his Georgia mansion. But then soon after she moved out, this Monday, girl, she posted a pic of her hand with the ring on it. Rick Ross came on to let everyone know real quick that was an old picture, and he got his ring back. Let me let you know how much the ring was, ladies and gentlemen. It was an 11-carat, $350,000 ring. Dang. And it probably was paid off. Nothing against people who still paying on their ring, but I know it was paid off.
Dang. He took it back,
took it back.
Like, do you do that?
Well, let me tell you. If you decide to, in the state of Georgia, get engaged by law, in Georgia, an engagement ring is a gift in contemplation of marriage. Meaning if you don't get hitched, you get your ring back by law.
Okay, so is it the same thing when like you're getting married and people buy you wedding gifts and you don't get married, you got to give it back?
Well, they just said the ring. They didn't say anything about gifts or like a kitchenette set or dishes or curtains or Bed Bath and Beyond gift cards.
Somebody owes me a gift.
So, but I'm just saying, so let me get back to why we think they had a blowout. Now, as you all know, everyone kept saying Rick Ross looked the happiest that he has in a while since he got with Galore. I mean, come on, you know. But they're saying as the rumor mill started swirling and they heard of past relationships she may have had with his friends and famous homies. And you know how some guys feel when their girl smashed the homies. And he just couldn't take it. And that's what the blow up was about. People kept jumping out her closet, child.
Oh, yeah.
Skeleton after skeleton. I'm talking about it looked like a bus pack going to the, Hawks game and everybody was jumping off that bus. That's how her closet was looking.
Well,
So,
she might be adding on some more because it says that she basically wants to kind of take the Karrueche Tran route. Now, you remember Karrueche Tran is the ex-girlfriend of Chris Brown.
okay, so she wants to be a famous ex
Yeah.
with little to no career? Or,
Yeah.
okay.
She doesn't want to just kind of go off the scene. So she's taking to Instagram showing her body like Karrueche Tran likes to show. And she wants to kind of get famous like she does.
What happened to getting a job? Since when did dating a
girl,
person
that-
that's a celebrity or
That's so overrated.
I mean, I'm getting these Instagram models. Come on. I always tell y'all every time Walmart is consistently hiring those greeters. Get out there. You can meet somebody. Morning time, they 24 hours. Jeez.
No, girl, having a conscience and having morals and stuff is so overrated. I'm sorry.
I bet you she wanted to keep that ring. He must have grabbed it off her finger when she was running out that door.
Yo, I would have been mad. I'm sorry about it. Like, you can't, like, take a mansion mortgage off my finger.
Let me tell you what she should have did. When it slid on real easy, start eating some muffins, some biscuits with honey, get puffed up. So when he tried to grab it, it ain't coming. You got to take this finger off. I mean, but then you can lose the weight later, but you can always catch the ring in. But, good luck to Rick Ross. I know he was in love, and maybe he can find love again. But speaking of running, recently it was alleged that Blac Chyna was involved in a hit and run in San Fernando Valley. So this is what they're saying. About 1:30 a.m., a white BMW was speeding down Reseda Boulevard when it blew through a stop sign, slammed into a car, causing a collision so violent it took out a pole and it took out a hydrant. So the people who were in the other car they were injured. It was 3 of them. But while they grabbing their head because they hurt, they look out, they see 2 African American women in mini skirts running out the car and jump into another car, and they left the BMW at the scene.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you, but this is the thing. When police got on the scene, they ran the plates, and it belongs to Blac Chyna. So her people are saying, of course, no, it wasn't Blac Chyna. She likes to let her friends borrow the car. She was at home. Child.
Who are your friends? And they're
Who are
not your friends.
And how do we really, really know it's not her? Now, if they had to say one African-American woman, one light-skinned woman, kind of bald head, then we know who she was. That was Amber and Blac Chyna. So, but right now, it is under investigation, and whoever left, they are considered a fugitive.
Wow.
Right.
Honestly, I don't think it was Blac Chyna just because as a celebrity, you know that they're going to find you and you know the car is registered to you.
Exactly. But I would think her friends would know the same.
But
So,
if it's not, well, they would, but that's not their car. Like, you would think that you can get away with it. I mean, I'm
Right.
pretty sure with the time of day it was, they probably
Right.
were drinking, were not thinking correctly. And
Yeah.
also with Blac Chyna, I mean, wouldn't paparazzi have been anywhere near if she was
Exactly.
in like a mini skirt? She was probably just leaving the club.
right. So, unfortunately, California law states that the driver, even if you weren't driving the vehicle, the owner of the vehicle is still liable for all charges and fines that may happen from an accident. So, even though it wasn't Chyna driving, she may be liable to have to pay for the 3 people who got seriously hurt.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You know what I think? Kylie Jenner set that up.
Well, who jumped out? They didn't say it was 2 Hispanics running out the car. They said 2 African
She
American
paid
women.
some people. Kylie Jenner got some black girlfriends. She set that whole thing
Because,
up.
the last time I saw, Kylie is getting a super tan. Because she is looking more and more like my Latina sisters. So, as long as she's not orange, I guess it's okay.
Yeah. If I was Blac Chyna, those friends would not be my friends anymore. I would say that the car was stolen. I don't know them chicks. Arrest them.
See, that's why you can't let everybody drive your car. They run your gas out. They don't want to refill it. You find nothing but Ampro hair gel all over your steering wheel, bobby pins, and that glue to keep the tracks in under the seat. Don't let friends borrow your ride.
And on that note, guys, keep it here to The Real with Rachel D. So we just want to remind you to show us some show us some support on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, and YouTube at The Real with Rachel D. So coming up, we have Monica, Just Right For Me. Keep it here.
All right. That was Miguel with Coffee. So we are back with The Real with Rachel D. with me, Miss BJ, and our host, Miss Rachel D.
Hey, y'all.
And now is the moment of the show that I like the most, where we introduce our guest, and he is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have artist Lyndon Batiste.
What's up?
Welcome.
Thank you for that.
Welcome back,
Amazing.
actually.
I'll take that.
Welcome back to the show, Lyndon.
Yes.
We first want to start off by saying that Lyndon is a father twice. He had a baby since the last time he's been on the show.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Getting
Putting
busy.
in work.
Well, congratulations to you and your beautiful wife and your growing, expanding family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
But we want to get to some quick business. He is a musical artist, and he sung me "Happy Birthday," BJ. I don't know if you saw that last time he was on the show. It was awesome.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, I'm definitely very supportive of my friends who do stuff. But with Lyndon and his music, I completely, believe in it. I agree with it. I love it.
Oh, I feel that. I feel that.
I
Thank
saw
you.
this, and we'll get to it. I'll let you guys listen a little bit later. But there was one song called Lift 'Em Up. I put that on play. I'm like, are you kidding? I just went straight from club music to gospel music back to club music, and it just fit.
That's what
But
I'm talking
It
about.
was so good.
That's
It
what I'm
was
talking
so
about.
good. So I
And you
want
know
you
what?
guys
Hold
to
on,
hear.
hold on. That's key. Because a lot of folks feel like you can't mix the two, like they can't sit next to each other. But that's kind of how we live, right? Like, yes, we're in church, but, we live in the real world.
Right.
And part of my music is that I want it to be included in our everyday lives.
Exactly.
When most people think about gospel, they think Sunday morning, right? And my perspective is, gospel music, whatever you want to call it, inspirational. I want you to be able to hear that any day of the week, be able to
Right.
ride with it. Put it on beside a club song. That's that's kind of the point of it.
Exactly.
And I'm glad. Because, you don't make gospel boring. And I hate to say this. Gospel is not boring, but it'll put me in a feeling of, I need to change my life.
Right.
But just kind of in a very sad way.
It can be depressing sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
But yours was, praiseful. I
Yeah.
just want to dance to this.
Right.
And it was very modern. It's a good deal.
No, I appreciate that. That's kind of the point of it all.
So being an artist, you hear the term struggling musician.
Right.
How true is that?
It can. It depends on. Such a deep question. No. There's stages to it, like anything. I mean, you're building a business like anybody else, and your business can be a $30,000 a year business, or it can be six figures, or it could be multimillionaire. And most people, when they see Taylor Swift or they see Adele, they think everybody that does music is right there. And no, there are stages to it. You have to build it like anything else. You're building your followers, you're building your performances, you're building your brand. And it takes time. And while it's taking time, some people do have to have regular jobs in the hopes that they can leave one day. But what I see, there are a lot of artists, they want to be famous and they will not get a real job and take care of like real grown folk responsibilities because they're putting on this facade that, I'm an artist, so I can't have a regular job.
Right.
No, dog. No, whatever. No, I have a regular job. I pay real bills like a real man. But guess what? Guess what? On the weekend or at night, I'm in the studio and I'm still dreaming. There's nothing wrong with dreaming and paying your bills, doing what you have to do to pay your bills. That's a part of it, man. That's the American dream, right?
Thank you.
Reach.
I love that. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's true.
because it's true.
Amen.
I think
Right.
everybody in this studio is doing the same thing. We
Yes.
going to get up tomorrow morning and go to our real full-time job.
Exactly.
Some bills got to get paid.
They do. And
Exactly. And I do have kids, yes. I love my kids, right?
Yep.
And part of me doing, going for my dream is at the very least, I told myself, I'm not sure where I'll be in 5 years. I'm not sure how successful I'll be, but I want my kids to see that their dad tried,
Yeah.
that he believed in something and he gave it his all. Hopefully it works out, but if it doesn't, hopefully they'll be more successful than me, right?
Yeah.
They can say, I got my dad's album. He only sold 100 copies, but you know what I'm saying? This is what dreaming looks like,
Exactly.
Everybody go for your dreams, man, but don't quit your day job until it pays for
Right.
you to be
Thank
able to do
you.
that.
That is so.
Exactly.
I love the logical thinking because I'm
Right.
sorry. I'm very supportive of people, but it is hard to want to give handouts and
Right.
try to support you and you're not supporting yourself.
Right.
Exactly. Because I don't think people realize, I mean, the part that you don't see on TV is the struggle behind the scenes. That you might see the bling in the music videos, but hey, sometimes we got to wrap this up. Somebody got to go to work at 5 in the morning. And that's the part people don't see, so they don't see the connect that it is attached to a real job. You got to build it from somewhere.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
you know, kind of an example, if you guys saw in the media, like Tamar Braxton, like she recently had to drop out of Dancing with the Stars and take a break from her TV show. She was doing all of that.
Right.
Like sometimes you think, you know, that the celebrities, they have money, they have fame, but it's like to make it work, to make that wheel turn, you got to constantly grease and move and everything.
Work,
Yeah.
yes.
And it's like, that's what happens. Because if you think with the real, her talk show is just an hour. So some people are like, oh, that's just an hour of work a day. No.
Exactly.
Not at all. You busting it. You're tired. You're exhausted. You're overwhelmed. You know, you have anxiety attacks. But that makes it so much better when you finally make it.
And the thing I don't like about entertainment is that we only talk about the overnight, quote unquote, overnight sensations. We hear about the Justin Bieber who puts up a YouTube video and you know, the next day, Usher calls him and is like, I'm going to give you a record deal, right? And he's like 15. But nobody talks about Al Jarreau, who didn't get his first record deal until he was like in his 40s, right?
Yeah.
Or the Picassos of the world, who I believe his first painting didn't really blow up until his late 30s or early 40s. I mean, that story is more common than Justin Bieber's, right?
Right.
So, but, you know, you just got to keep chipping away at it.
And I like that because I think Steve Harvey said the same thing. I think Steve Harvey said that when he was in 8th grade or something that he wanted to be on TV and his teacher told him he wouldn't. And he was like, he didn't get to TV till he was 39.
Yeah.
And then in entertainment and in comedy, like it's such kind of a false age thing about it. Like if you don't do it early, then you're just
Which is why
late.
everyone lies about their age.
Exactly.
I need to start doing that.
Exactly.
But Lyndon, God, like I really do love your spirit and I love the way you talk because you're so real and it shows in your music.
I appreciate that. Yeah, when I you know, even with my new album Looking for Love, the whole idea was to be as transparent as possible. I wanted to capture where I was in the moment. Even though when people listen to it, they think gospel inspirational, but really in the album, I'm struggling with a lot of things. Like spiritually, I'm struggling. I'm trying to figure out what is God? Like, how do you define this? How do you define life? That's why I call it Looking for Love. Everybody thinks I'm looking for like a romantic love. No, I'm looking for God. Like, what does it mean to me? Because, I grew up in the church. I did a lot in the church, but I experienced a lot of stuff that turned me away from it. So I was trying to figure out, how do I hold on to God and my spirituality, even though I'm kind of turned off by like the church world, right? And a lot of times we throw out the baby with the bathwater. We experience a bad situation in church and we say, I don't want God, I don't want church. And I was trying not to do that.
Exactly.
Because I know God, love, all that stuff is good for me, but I'm really not trying to do the church thing, if you will. Some of it.
You know, that definitely shows in like your new single. Like, we want to play it real quick, but tell us about it because you said it's not a part of the album; it's just a single you dropped.
Exactly, it's a song that I perform everywhere I go, and people were really loving it. And I finished it after I did the album, so I said I have to make it available because everyone was loving it. I open up my shows with that song, and everybody gets like really turned up. I'm like, yo, I got to make this song available. But Lift 'Em Up, I actually wrote this song waiting at a diner. But I'm sitting in the car and I'm playing the track and I'm like literally writing the words on like a piece of paper. I wrote that song in like 15 minutes. But it was just something I was feeling at the time. It was like the track was kind of hype and I'm like, lift them up. The words just kind of came and that's how it happened. But it that's how I view spirituality, God. It's supposed to be fun. Right? Like God is life. Like when I think of God, I don't want to think of depressing, talking me off of a bridge every day, right?
Right.
I want to have a good time with my Father. Yeah, that's how I define it, right?
Exactly.
Have a good time, love. Let's have a good time, everybody.
Yeah,
I love
lift
that.
them up.
All right, so we're actually going to listen to that in a quick second. Just tell everybody where they can find out more information about you and your music.
Check me out online, www.lyndonmusicworld.com, Instagram at Lyndon Music World, Twitter, Lyndon J Music as well. But again, website, www.lyndonmusicworld. You can find everything, iTunes, and all of my links, SoundCloud is all there.
So we also want you to stay put because we want you to come back and we have some crazy things on social media, hot topics that we want to get your perspective on.
All
but
right.
guys, coming up is Lyndon's hot single, which I absolutely love. It's called Lift 'Em Up. Keep it here.
Gonna lift 'em up, come throw your hands in the air. Gonna lift 'em up if you meant to really I'ma do it everywhere I can. And no, I won't even be ashamed. 'Cause his name is the highest name. He created the world all on his own. 'Cause his love, I'll never be alone. Yeah, that's right, I'm trying to be his cloud. He's the greatest that I ever known. Come throw your hands up in the air. We gonna lift him up. If you met or really don't care. We gonna lift him up. We gonna blast it everywhere. We gonna lift him up. We gonna lift him up. We gonna lift him up. Come throw your hands up in the air. We gonna lift him up. If you met or really don't care. We gonna lift him up. We gonna blast it everywhere. We gonna lift him up. We gonna lift him up. He spoke to the wind and the sea. Then he died and gave his life for me. Now he's all on the inside of me. Taking me higher and above. The creator of all the universe. He's the Lord and King of all the earth. That's right. And my daddy's since I had my new guess what? He's the greatest and I'ma keep it going. Come throw your hands up in the air. We gonna lift him up. If you met or really don't care. We gonna lift him up. We gonna blast it everywhere. We gonna lift him up. We gonna lift him up. We gonna lift him up. Come throw your hands up in the air. We gonna lift him up. If you met or really don't care. We gonna lift him up. We gonna blast it everywhere. We gonna lift him up. We gonna lift him up. What do you see when you look at me? I'm a full graduate of God's University. I was dipped in the water, but I took it a little further. I put on his name. 'Cause his name is the highest name. Yo, that's right, I'll never be alone. 'Cause his love, I'll never be alone. Yeah, that's right, I'm trying to be his clown. He's the greatest that I ever known. Oh, yeah. If you met or really don't care. We gonna blast it everywhere. We gonna lift them up. We gonna lift them up. Come throw your hands up in the air. If you met or really don't care. We gonna blast it everywhere. We gonna lift them up. Taking me higher and above the He's the greatest and I'ma keep him first.
You're listening to The Real with Rachel D on Atlanta's inspirational talk radio, Love 860.
All right. We are back. And that was Lyndon Batiste with Lift Him Up. And we were in here lifting him up, girl.
Let me tell you, that is my jam. Because,
Yes.
guys, I'm not even not just because he's here, but if you're ever in studio with us, when music is playing, we're talking about everything else. But this time, I wasn't even talking. I was just
we
jamming.
were listening and bobbing.
All right.
Excellent. Give us one more time. Where can they reach you?
LyndonMusicWorld.com. That's the website.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I'm so excited. That was.
Well, that was such a great uplifting song. Now we got to get on to some of these topics.
I know. And I feel bad because they're horrible.
Hey, man.
But, okay, so basically the theme for WTH social media is, it seems to be about feminism.
Okay.
And I didn't mean for it to be this way, but as I'm looking at the topics, it's
Yeah.
kind of a feminist list.
That's what's been happening this week, really.
So here's one thing. You know what? For your sake, Lyndon, I'm gonna make it so quick, this particular topic, because it
Yeah.
grosses me out, too.
Yeah, okay.
So apparently, in the midst of us as women trying to get our equal rights and there's this thing coming out called free bleeding.
Yes.
So if you don't know,
It's all bad.
it is.
Sounds.
So if you don't know what that is, it's when women don't.
Use products to particularly take care of that time of the month.
Ooh,
So they basically just free bleed.
ooh,
And
Yeah.
it bleeds through their clothes and everything.
wow.
Yeah.
Deep.
So I'm not really sure what's the reason behind that.
Okay, so originally the reason was started is because they say taxes are not taken off as something that naturally occurs. So for basically pads, tampons, and things of that nature, they feel it is unfairly taxed because it is something that a woman needs, basically, to survive during that time of the month. So it was originally done to get taxes removed.
Really?
So yeah.
That's interesting.
We need
I would have never
soap.
figured that.
We
Right.
need
We need
food.
water.
There's a lot of stuff that's taxed.
Right.
Yes.
That's disgusting.
I mean, the tax isn't because you need it. It's because of the cost of producing the product, right? And the
Exactly.
people who have to be paid to manufacture it.
Exactly.
There's no way around that unless you want people to produce it for free, right?
I mean, and so now
I
you
mean-
got these women walking around promoting or displaying.
Let me tell you, if you
Wow.
ever come around me with some period stain leaking through your pants and it is not an accident, not only am I probably going to, I wouldn't even fight you because I don't want to touch you, but I will embarrass the mess out of you. That is
Yeah.
disgusting. That's unsanitary because
It
that is, I don't
is.
care how natural it is. That's blood.
That's
and blood
gross.
carries diseases. That's nasty.
Yeah, don't come around my front yard because if I got a hose, I'm washing my car and you. So I'm just saying, Tampax call. They said get over it. Just pay the taxes.
Look,
So.
women, I know we have something to prove and we want, equal rights, and I get it. Trust me, but that's just something. And it's nothing to be ashamed of because I remember reading something that they were like, women shouldn't be ashamed of our periods.
No.
We're not ashamed of them. We're aware we have them. Men are aware we have them,
Yeah,
but
so-
I don't want to see them.
Exactly. It's
All right, guys. I just want, that was like a Band-Aid. I had to rip that off. Don't do that, okay?
Yeah.
But moving on, this was an interesting thing, and it has so many different facets to it. So, guys, did you hear the story about the man in Washington who called the police and is trying to get these women arrested for twerking on him in the gas station?
It was twerk abuse.
Oh, wow.
Twerk
Yeah.
abuse.
I saw the video. I didn't know he actually called the cops.
He did.
Wow.
They found him, I think. They
Yeah,
got arrested.
so they actually did get arrested. So on Tuesday in Washington D.C., police arrested Ayanna Marie Knight, 22 of Las Vegas, and charged her with third-degree sexual abuse after authorities say that she and a friend twerked on a man standing at a gas station. So currently, one woman has been arrested, and the second is being sought after the women reportedly gyrated their backsides, twerked against the man, and fondled him. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So men are calling cops.
Men
cops
are calling
on that
cops. But I mean, he's standing there probably trying to pay for his gas or get, a Twinkie or something. And these girls come up in there twerking on him, old big funky booties bouncing on him.
Right.
I would have called too. I would have sprayed you in the face with Febreze and told you get away from me.
Right.
I mean, who asked for it? Now, how would we feel if some guy just come up and start bouncing on? If you do not get out of my face, I mean, you can't call it sexist. It is what it is.
Yeah.
He didn't want you touching him, and they kept touching him.
Most men I know are a bit different.
I mean,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure I could
Tell
find
us,
about
tell
20
us.
guys who would not have called the cops. In fact, they would have enjoyed every moment of that and would have done a live shot on Periscope.
Now that's
Check
true.
me out.
But I'm thinking maybe his wife was in the car and she said, "Look, if you don't call the cops for this, you're gonna be calling the cops because I'm gonna kick you, womp womp, beep beep beep." So his choice was to report it. I mean, but then again, you never know. Maybe he was twerked on as a kid
Right.
and
Yeah.
he had bad flashbacks. Maybe he had a aunt with a really large backside,
Right.
and when he saw him backing up to him, he was like, "Oh Lord, why now?"
Right.
I mean, you don't know, but all I know, how can you sit up? Let me ask you this though: in a jail cell, what you do, man? I took somebody out, killed the man. What you do? I robbed the store. What you do? I twerked in the gas station. I mean, how hard you look sitting
Right.
up there? You better know how to do some braids.
I would lie. Are you kidding? I would straight
Right.
up lie. But you know what, though? They did more than just that. They didn't just twerk on him in the gas station. They followed him around.
Yeah, and then they were
Okay.
fondling him.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But
I mean, it's
there's more
crazy.
to it. I saw this news report. It said that the guy initially thought that the girls were men in a dress.
I mean,
Oh.
That's why.
it is a black and
Okay.
white video. I mean, I don't know.
So, I mean, that I would understand.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or,
it is a bit weird.
see, that part I would understand, and the part you mentioned about the wife. Because a woman would be like, if I saw that, like, explain yourself. So,
That is
how would
true.
you explain it?
That is true.
Right, and if I was in the car, you best believe you would have saw me up on that security camera, slanging somebody across and still trying to check out.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
But who is, just randomly twerking on people? Like, what were you thinking?
They left the club too live and they didn't want it to stop. But, obviously they didn't look as good. Well, it didn't have anything to do with looks.
Right.
But he looked horrified.
Yeah.
He was trying to turn around and move.
Right.
Doing a robot up in the store trying to get away from them.
So, in the basis of equality, do you think that, her being charged, that it's fair for her to get some time or some type of, like, fines for this?
Oh, heck yeah. And in that regard, I mean, if a guy had done it, he would have been, it wouldn't have been a discussion. And
Exactly.
they would have been in
Exactly.
jail really fast.
Like, I hate to be this way because I am all woman, hear me roar, but women get a pass
Yeah.
for stuff that's not fair. I remember seeing on social media, it was a meme that said it had two drunk people, a drunk guy and a drunk girl, and it was like, if I don't know, Jessica wanted to have sex but she's drunk, it's rape because she didn't consent. But if John wants to, it's fine. And it's like, no, he's drunk too. Like, if they're both drunk, she's the victim. Like, that's not fair.
It's time to take responsibility. Wrong is wrong. If he didn't ask you and if he wasn't seeming, to enjoy it, leave the man alone.
Exactly.
Right.
You'll get you a job. Just because the strip club turned you away don't mean you have to turn it over to the gas station.
And some women be bucking and manipulating the system, and it's
That's
like, this feminist thing is going way too far. I saw this this women's group who were marching. They were like protesting, and they were topless, and they were walking around with signs saying, "Me being topless isn't asking for rape." Well, sorta. It's like, you don't.
What was the topless part for?
It's supposed to be no matter what I look like, no matter what I wear, I'm not asking for it.
Right.
Sorta.
Right.
Now, I mean, I would see going topless to, protest the prices of some of these bras. Because,
they are like $40
they are
for
very
a good
expensive.
one.
It's almost like, let me get one cup today and buy the other one tomorrow. I'll just be lopsided the weekend. But I'm just saying, to go it's getting kind of outrageous. I mean, you should really pick and choose your battles.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. I think that every man should be for equal rights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of downside to it for men. I mean, men, look, we want our doors open for us sometimes too, right?
Yeah.
Or what if we didn't have to worry about being the breadwinner?
Exactly.
Maybe we can be a stay-at-home dad now.
Oh,
right?
Yes. Yes. And you know what? Since he mentioned that, not to jump off subject, don't you hate when you open a door for someone, or they see you coming and they let that door slam in your face? Or you hold it open and someone rush past you, they don't say thank you or anything. Don't you kind of want to just grab them back and slam them outside and put the door in their face?
Exactly.
I mean, it's just equal rights. Men,
Right.
women, open the daggone door.
Hey, I'm down for it.
That's just, I know. I
Say
hate
thank
that
you.
too. I hate that. Oh my God. Or a little shade, not that they be listening to the show, when you greet people when you walk into work and they don't say nothing because they light skinned and they think they pretty and everything like that. Yeah, I don't like that. You speak. If I say good morning, you say good morning.
Yeah, if I
Right.
do see you speak, because if not, then, we gonna talk about that ashy back of your neck. Why you think you I'm just saying, be nice. If I'm nice to you, smile.
Yep.
Say hello.
Right.
Thank you.
Open the door, especially if you see me with some boxes. That's how folks get drunk. Okay. But yeah, but speaking of women's rights, did you hear about Lorena Bobbitt?
Girl, everybody heard about Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah, I haven't really heard her on the news like 20 years ago when it was a big thing when she did her thing, the
What
big
did
chop.
she do? She cut her hair off, the big chop?
Well, when she was 24 years old, Lorena Bobbitt cut off her husband John Bobbitt's penis while he was sleeping back in 1993.
Wait, y'all should see Lyndon's face right
Yeah,
now.
that's
I know, it's a little squeamish.
Yeah, that's-
I apologize. But back when she gensued him, it was all the rage. But then, she never really talked about it. It was like, a lot of women said, I'm going to do you like Lorena Bobbitt if you don't come home tonight. But she finally came open about it. And what we don't know, what they really didn't talk about, she was suffering years of physical abuse and domestic abuse from her husband.
Yeah.
And this happened after a night of partying. And, he kept hitting her and pushing her. She kind of just blacked out and went to a space. And she said, next thing you know, she remembers going to the kitchen to get a glass of water. Then she found herself in the middle of the street with a knife in one hand and his penis in the other.
Whoa.
So
Didn't she throw it somewhere?
I think she threw it off in the woods.
They found it, though.
They found it. Yes, they found it. So,
So she recently came forth to talk to Steve Harvey, right?
Steve Harvey been getting all these violent women.
I know. I don't know if it's a rating thing, but yeah, she came forth. She's actually doing well. She's married and she has a 10-year-old child.
They have no knives in the house.
Lyndon, could you ever date a woman? I mean,
I'm horrified already. I'm
mean-
like speechless. Like
I wonder
The whole
how that
act.
happened. Like, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, your current wife, you don't know anything about her past.
Right.
But she just tells you on your anniversary, so I kind of like, he did something, I cut it off and threw it in the woods. But you're fine. Just don't do
You're
what he
good.
did.
oh wow. Yeah, can we sleep in separate rooms?
Right.
Like, how does this work now?
Everything is with a spoon.
Nothing's the same.
Lyndon,
This is worse than an affair, right?
Look, he eating steak with a spoon. I mean, but honestly, I feel when you think about it, Lyndon, as a man, can you imagine what life was like for him? Everyone knows the joke. For him to go through life, I mean, his story is
He doesn't
public.
feel like a man anymore.
Right.
But you know what, though? I heard that he started doing porn.
Get out.
I'm serious. He got it detached. It was working, so he started doing porn.
That is
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
Yep.
So you got like a fake one put on?
No, they
Oh, they put
reattached
that
it.
one back on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So he's like a Transformer man, Optimus Prime or something? Optimus Prime. I mean,
But look, if that's not like he
It has a
had
little switch
to,
on it.
right.
You know,
On and off switch.
I heard that it has a pump. I don't know. I don't want to go into
Oh,
details,
man.
but that has to be. You had to really try to get your self-esteem back. It's like, how do I let people know that it works?
Yeah.
Let me do porn.
But I wouldn't even, I mean, but to be that person in the ambulance who found it
God.
with the light, here it is. Wait, that's not it.
Right.
Here
It's
you
like,
go.
It's like in a sandwich bag. Like, he's like
Yeah.
hanging.
Child,
What?
please. I mean, but did she, I mean, I feel that's, he has to have some kind of psychological trauma.
Yeah.
See, and that just lets you know, don't abuse people. Especially, I mean, the physical is bad, but when they black out, that's it.
Yeah.
Remember Tina Turner blacked out in the back of that cab with Ike.
You got to
So.
be careful. And you see, Lorena Bob ain't skip no beat. I don't even think she went to jail for it.
I don't think she did either. Everybody was, we're tired. She deserved it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad he's
Wow.
better.
I am too. But, Lyndon, that's so funny. So what are you guys getting into this weekend?
I'm, I hope the weather's nice this weekend. I'm just kind of seeing what there is to get into.
Well, Lyndon, you have any plans?
Yeah, I want to go to the city, spend some time in Atlanta. I'm a city boy.
Oh, yay.
So I want to see what's going on at the Fox. I don't know, any plays going on or something.
Remember when we went to Radio 1 to do those recording things? We were looking around at the city, both just thinking, boy, if we had the money.
Like, I love the city.
I would
Like,
buy
I
a
love
place up
hearing
here.
traffic and horns being honked. And
That is, yeah.
I love it.
I like that feeling when you're in a rush and you got to kind of run across the street.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
You
Especially
like
if, it makes me feel very Sex in the City-ish.
Yes.
And it depends on what outfit. If I'm running to get to something or if I'm running away from someone, it's different. So, but, I just like the feeling.
All right, guys. So if you don't have anything to get into this weekend, here's some things. Halloween just ended a couple weeks ago, but you can still join in the fun at Netherworld Haunted House. That is still going on. That's going to be Netherworld, but there's another one. I'm sorry. This is 13 Stories Haunted House, and it has 6 terrifying attractions and a Hollywood level with greater detail that they will not publicly say.
Oh, wow.
And that's in Noonan. It's a haunted house, so you can go on events12.com to find out more information. There's also an Actworth Beer Festival. We love beer festivals, by the way, here. So in Actworth, they're having a craft beer festival which features 100 beers, wine, cider, live music, and food for sale.
Yay.
Now, if you guys are ready to get into the Christmas spirit, there is actually a Rudolph puppet show. You can bring your kids. That's going to happen at the Center of Puppetry Arts. It says Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is a puppet version of the classic television show.
Cute.
So it's a live version.
Yay.
And then if you're not really in the Christmas or Halloween spirit, there's a murder mystery going on. So I'm excited about that. This is based off of the novel of Agatha Christie. A murder is announced in a classic story of mixed motives, concealed identities, and expert detective works on stage. That's happening in downtown Atlanta. So to find out more information, or it has a whole list of events for you to get into, just visit events12.com. So it's time to wrap up the show.
Yay.
This always goes by fast when you have
It
fun with the people.
does.
So any last words, Lyndon? Where can people find out more information again?
Lyndon Music World, Instagram, Lyndon Music World as well. Rachel, I love the show. Thanks for having me. Rachel D, keeping it real. BJ, I love it, man. I enjoy my time here.
Absolutely. We hope that you'll come back and visit again. Miss BJ, of all the craziness, girl, feminists are losing their minds. What's the hashtag of the week?
Hashtag of the week, y'all, is hashtag clapback.
Clapback.
Clapback. Basically, I took it from that donkey kick that Cynthia gave. If you start clapping, don't expect somebody to clap back at you. Apparently, with Rick Ross and his engagement being over, that's that clap back. He took that ring back, and Lorena Bobbitt, she speaks for herself with that clap back. So just be thoughtful of what you say to others, because if you're not ready for that clap back, so just be thoughtful.
Absolutely. And I definitely want to give a shout out to all the veterans. We're celebrating Veterans Day this week.
Yes.
And thank you guys for your services. And a quick reminder to go on social media to support us, The Real with Rachel D, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and SoundCloud. And we're going to leave you with a little bit of Fifth Harmony, Boss. We'll see you guys next week.